Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. Wherever I lay my hat is home. There's no place like home. Home is where the heart is. Stop me when you've heard enough. I could do this all day. You've heard all these expressions before. At its core, home is where your childhood memories come from. Just the word home can evoke feelings of safety and security. It might be why you still live there. Or on the other hand, it might be why you couldn't wait to get out of there. But today I want to introduce you to Graham Legg. He knows a thing or two about home. He is a fan of local history and a big believer in preserving it whenever possible.
Local information, local history is worth recording. It is important. So I did start collecting newspaper clippings about Emerald.
Graham's home is in Australia. Emerald, to be more precise. It's in Queensland, located on the northeast section of the continent. And if you want to know more about the goings-on in Emerald, Graham is a great resource.
I think that people can appreciate where they live and the work of others and perhaps be inspired to say, well, I've benefited from the work of others. I should make my own contribution and keep the process going.
To that end, he has written a book based on many of his years of community service. It's called The Fleur-de-Lis, Khaki Shorts and Me, a logbook of my scouting adventures.
I'm actually quite pleased with the outcome. I think it is an interesting read and experiences shared.
To coincide with the 75th anniversary of Scouting, the current Scout group leader in Emerald invited past Emerald Scouts to write about their experiences. Graham had so many experiences that he turned them into a book. One story was the inspiration for the book's cover. It features a photo of Lord Robert Baden-Powell's wife, Lady Baden-Powell. Lord Robert Baden-Powell was the founder of the World Scouting Movement.
His wife, Lady Baden-Powell, came through Emerald one Friday night after school. Now, we knew that she was coming through. So we assembled cubs and scouts and guides and brownies on the side of the road and hoping that the good lady, when she was passing, might see this assembled group of young people and perhaps have her car slow down and she would wave, and we'd wave vigorously and enthusiastically to her. She did better than that. She got the driver to stop the car. She stepped out of the car and came over to the assembled young people and leaders. And she spoke for about 15 minutes about what she'd been doing. And she was the World Chief Girl Guide leader. And I thought, how lovely, how gracious to do that. It was a very uplifting experience. So, hey, there's a connection between Emerald and the founder of Scouting himself, by way of his wife.
Graham has certainly made a valuable contribution to his community through all of his service throughout all of the years. His book is excellently written and well illustrated, but does it live up to the core values of Scouting? Duty to God, duty to others, and duty to self? I think most definitely yes.
Now, on Sundays, I went to church and Sunday school and I learned about God and I learned about the Good Samaritan who helped other people. I went to school on Monday and we saluted the flag in those days and stood to attention and said, I love God and my country, I honour the flag, I will serve the King or Queen and cheerfully obey my parents, teachers and the law. On Friday night I went to Scouts and said, I promise on my honour that I'll do my best to do my duty to God and the Queen, to help other people at all times and to obey the Scout law. And those lessons, those outlooks, that reinforcement, I think was very positive and led me to conclude that we are helped by other people. We take advantage of what has gone on before us by way of buildings and constructions and works of art and outlooks on life, and that we do well to contribute our part and not be selfish if we don't, but contribute our part and keep the momentum. And so this idea of looking outwards to the community, helping others, observing others, and perhaps enriching the locality, and looking outwards and upwards to God, to spiritual outlook, that this is very wholesome and very healthy and very practical and very enjoyable as well.
Graham Legg is a quality human being and a great community leader. I think you'll enjoy reading about one of the early scouting trips they took to the UK.
Part of that occasion involved going to have afternoon tea in a place called St James's Palace in London, the home of the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester. That was very lovely and special and very grand. On the way through St James's Palace, the Duke paused in one room and he said, "Now you Victorian schoolboys will be especially interested in this painting." It was an enormous painting. It was, it's over 3 metres in height and about 5 metres in width. It was an original painting of the opening of Federal Parliament in Australia. That was done in 1901.
There's more to that story, so if we've piqued your interest at all, feel free to download a copy of the book, The Fleur-de-Lis, Khaki Shorts and Me, a logbook of my scouting adventures by Graham C. Legg. His eminent achievements and exceptional service to Scouts Australia and elsewhere make this an outstanding read. It's available now from Apple Books, Amazon.com, and Barnes & Noble. There are also links in the show's description for you, and that will do it for another edition of Newsgram from WebTalkRadio.com.